New at 10 tonight, you've heard the phrase use of force in the media a lot lately, often in connection with an officer-involved shooting. But the phrase doesn't just apply to those situations. We go inside training and look at how one area department trains their officers to react and avoid using force. NBC 26's Megan Lowry has the story in an NBC 26 special assignment.
Appleton Police let me inside one of their training sessions to get a first-hand look at the training their officers go through and give me the chance to spend a moment in their shoes. It takes only a split second for a gun to go off, turning a situation deadly.
There's a fine line between warrior and guardian.
This March, we saw that firsthand when Trooper Trevor Casper was shot and killed in a confrontation with a bank robber in Fond du Lac who had already killed a man.
He was mortally wounded. His training told him not to give up.
Officers trained to prepare themselves for dangerous situations.
We want to come home at the end of our shift.
In 2014, out of more than 51,000 contacts with the public, Appleton Police only used force 100 times, less than 2%. But when use of force is needed, officers will react accordingly.
Offensive tactics isn't body slamming someone or isn't harming them, it's stopping them.
Use of force is defined according to the National Department of Justice as, quote, law enforcement officers should use only the amount of force necessary to mitigate an incident, make an arrest, or protect themselves or others from harm. The levels range from verbal or passive countermeasures to physical restraint to lethal or deadly force.
People think that the way use of force is that we have to go through each one of those before we can use deadly force. That's not the reality.
His behavior is going to change. And
to give an idea of what it's like to walk in an officer's shoes, I went through my own scenario. How are you doing? Is everything? In this case, it took just seconds for the person to pull a gun.
We react to their behavior. We react, and appropriately, that's what we do in training, is to make sure that we're using and teaching those skills to a high level so that they're ready when or if that time comes.
The officers are taught to assess the threat and use the needed amount of force to protect themselves or others. But Appleton Police says their goal at every call is to resolve a conflict with dialogue first.
Police Department.
In this scenario, officers respond to a home where a subject has a knife.
I see you got the knife.
The officers engage in conversation, keeping a safe distance for their own safety.
What I'd like to do is I'd like to make sure you're safe. And to make sure you're safe, I need you to drop the knife.
Eventually, the man is taken into custody.
If we can accomplish our task with just communication, then we ultimately, at the end of the day, feel that we've succeeded.
The Appleton Police Department says if you ask their officers, they'll tell you the reason they put on the uniform is to protect their neighbors and community. Appleton Police say all of their trainings are developed to be as real as possible so that officers can refer to their experience during an incident. Megan Lowry, NBC 26.